are talking running backs on this Monday. Happy Monday. What is up, Fin fans and football fans? Because you might be watching this and not a Dolphin fan and just want to know my top 5 running backs in this NFL draft. And if not, that's cool. Thanks for watching. But we are going to look at my top 5 running backs in this upcoming draft. Mine are probably going to be very different than other people's. And I'll tell you why I have certain people in certain situations and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Real quick, though, we do have to shout out today's sponsor, and that is BetUS.TV. I've talked about them a lot. If you want to get your odds, your markets, your sports content, all that stuff over there, go to BetUS.TV.com. You can also see them on here, BetUS.TV, and you can also find them on X at BetUS.TV. Go check them out. So, yeah, we're going to be breaking down running backs. And it's going to be different. I also have a jam-packed week for you guys. Friday, me and a certain somebody, I will let you know who, where, and when are going to start our little show. I also have the show with Mike on Dolphins Talk every Thursday at 7. And I'm also going to be guest appearing on another show Wednesday at 7. So I got a very jam-packed week going around, helping people, also start my own thing. So it's going to be a fun week, but let's jump into this and let's talk about running backs. Now, I have my top 5. This is my top 5. You could say, wow, you're dumb. And the quarterback one, someone said, oh, you talking like you know quarterbacks. I don't know nothing, but this is my opinion. If my opinion bothers you that much, that you have to get that defensive about my opinion, you need to take a look in the mirror. You need to take a deep breath. You need to get off YouTube. Plain and simple. But this is my top 5. These are the guys I like. Now, there are names that aren't on the list that might bother you. Dylan Sampson, Quinshon Judkins, Damian Martinez, Bradshaw Smith. They're not my top 5. What was that? They are not on my top 5. They are honorable mentions, especially Quinshon Judkins, especially Damian Martinez, especially Dylan Sampson. Those guys are very close to making my top 5, but they didn't. I like these other guys a little bit better. And yes, you're getting my full top 5 because there is some possibilities at 13, and I'm going to talk about that. So let's jump into this and let's start with number 5. And number 5 is Trayvon Henderson out of Ohio State, or as they like to say over there, the Ohio State. He is 5'10", 208 pounds, ran a 4.43 at the 40-yarder at the combine, did very, very well there. He's quick. Obviously ran a 4.43. I'm looking at my notes. If you're like, what are you looking down at? It's all my notes. I take notes. I take a lot of notes. Very quick, fast feet. He's agile. He's got a nice balance when he starts to really get going, because a lot of times you'll see they're going and then going and they start to like get that wobble and they can trip up on themselves. Nope. Great balance at that top speed, great hands, good receiving back. One fumble lost. The man has had 573 carries and 75 receptions. One fumble lost. So he is a very fast, speedy, agile back. Again, he's only 5'10" and he's only 208 pounds. So he's not, these are the negatives, he's not that big of a back, right? He's not going to be running through you. He's not like Derrick Henry. He's not like some other guys that I got on my list. He's not that big guy. He's also a little indecisive or not decisive, depending on how you want to say it. So when you have him in a zone versus a man gap scheme, the Dolphins tend to run zone. So you have to have that decisiveness. I was going to say something way wrong than that word. And essentially you have to know there's the gap. I'm going to hit it, plant my foot, drive it north to south. And he tends to want to bounce it to the outside a little too much. And a lot of times that happens, especially with these running backs, because they want that home run hit. I like him, Trayvon Henderson. I think Mike McDaniel probably would like him. But I don't think that's what the Miami Dolphins need. I think you kind of have somebody in that aspect with Devon Achane, kind of with Jalen Wright. We need more of a physical back. That's why they did bring in Madison. And I do think the Dolphins will draft a running back this year, 3rd round, maybe one of the 4ths. Could it be Trayvon Henderson? Maybe, but again, me personally, and again, I can only tell you what I would do. I would not, just because we need more complimentary backs, and we kind of seem like we already have a back like that. So that's my number 5. My number 4, Cam Scatterbo out of Arizona State. He is a gentleman that would be a beautiful complimentary piece to what the Miami Dolphins already have. He is 5'11", 215. At his pro day, he ran around a 4.53, 4.57. He's a hard nose. Like, honestly, go watch some highlights of him running at Arizona State. Hard nose runner. He's physical. He'll make you miss tackles. He's got decent vision. So again, that could play in well with the zone run scheme. His weight and balance, and he's very good as a receiver back. Again, he is that hard-nosed runner. There's a few times where he loves, and he's a chatterbox, right? Loves that cockiness, and he doesn't shy away from contact. Again, very good complimentary piece for what we kind of already have in our running back room. His negatives: he's a little stiff. Again, he is not an elusive back. He's not a back that's going to spin out of tackles, going to juke you left to right. He's not that type of back. He's the back who's going to try to get through you to continue to go forward. Heavy feet. Again, I was just saying, he's not that elusive back. So his jump cuts are kind of more like skip cuts. He ain't real jumping, right? He's got the heavy feet. His pass blocking is good, but he tends to want to knock you on your butt. And by having that aggressiveness in his pass blocking, he will whiff on blocks because he wants to boom. He wants to hit these blitzers or whatever, these guys coming off the end, whether it's a corner, safety, or a pass rusher. He wants to hit them and lay them out. Sometimes, if you're not really fundamental with how you're doing it, you can whiff and completely fall on your face. Cam Scatterbo, I would love for the Dolphins to draft Cam Scatterbo. I don't think they'll have a chance to draft Cam Scatterbo because, like I said, for me, I could see the Dolphins taking a running back. Again, we have 2 4s, 2 5s, and possibly with the third. I think he goes in the second round. I don't think he goes in the first round, but I definitely think Cam Scatterbo is going to go in the second round. If he doesn't and he falls to us in the third, I would take him in a heartbeat. I think he's going to be a hard-nosed, bruising back that can really pair well with Jalen Wright and Devon Achane. I would love Cam Scatterbo. I didn't know much about him because, again, when NFL season's on, I give Miami Dolphins 100% of my focus. I'll watch college here and there, but I'm not really studying tape. And I think it was when the Dolphins season was over or when the college playoffs started, I started to kind of notice Cam Scatterbo and watch some of his stuff, and I liked him a lot. So my number 4 is Cam Scatterbo. My number 3 on this list is Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. 6 foot, 225, ran a 4.57. Again, they're getting bigger, if you're noticing. You know, you had Trayvon Henderson about 5'10. You have Cam Scatterbo at about 5'11. And now you have Caleb Johnson, 6-footer, 225, again, ran a 4.57. North to south runner. You know, he's not going to try to east to west, try to keep running around. Like, you notice that with kind of like Tyreek Hill's not a running back, but you notice instead of him like planting his foot and getting the first down, he like tends to run backwards to run around these defenders to get the first down. Drives me nuts. This guy's more of a north to south. He's got great burst and top speed at that weight of 225, which is something you really like to see. Great yak. Right, he's going to run through you. He's got the 6'5", 225. He's got the physicality to do it. Good vision. Cut to find the open guys. Again, great feet there. Not a great receiving back. Here's the negatives. Not a great receiving back, and he doesn't have great patience behind the line of scrimmage, and that is something you need as a running back. Who was really good? Bell with the Pittsburgh Steelers was a very, like, I remember at some points he would just stop and wait for the lanes to open and then hit him. Like, Le'Veon Bell, fantastic vision with the Steelers. With the Jets, he was a completely different guy, especially when he took the year off. he needs a little work with his vision. But again, with these running backs, these are the things that can be taught, whereas the speed and all the other stuff is things you can't be taught. So no, he has to work on his patience. Also, not great at pass blocking. He's not going to be in there to help, block on passing downs. That's where you throw Scatabo in there. But I like him a lot, and obviously I have him ahead of Cam Scatabo because of his size and because of what he can do with his size. I put him above Cam Scatabo. Really like Caleb Johnson. Again, I see him go into the second round. I don't think the Dolphins take Caleb Johnson, but I would like Caleb Johnson. My number 2, Omarion Hampton, out of University of North Carolina, the Tar Heels. If we're talking 6 foot, I'm talking 6'1", 220, ran a 4.46, right? He's got that NFL body size, right? That NFL running back size, 6'1", 220. Great change of direction, loves physicality. Again, that's what I'm looking for if I'm the Miami Dolphins, somebody who can match the speed that we have in there, especially when we get towards the end of the year where running the ball is paramount in winning these games against, playoff contending teams and also in the playoffs. Got great pass protection, turns his lower legs to get the first down, to keep moving his body, and he's a very good pass catcher. His negatives: inconsistent in his patience behind the line of scrimmage. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't have patience behind the line of scrimmage. It's a little inconsistent. So sometimes he will wait for the blocks to, form and wait for the gaps to open and then hit it. And sometimes he'll just run into the back of his own guys. So a little inconsistent there. He's a little too eager to get upfield, hence the inconsistency in his patience behind the line of scrimmage. He wants to hurry up and get that busted off and have a great run there. Tends to second guess himself in open space a lot. One-on-one guy in the open space, he tends to second guess himself, and sometimes he gets caught. But obviously he's my number 2 because 6'1", 220, 4.46, 40 time. The legs, the speed, the back size, like everything, it's just, it fits. It fits with Miami. I think he goes in the first round. I don't think he makes it out of the first round. And I don't think the Dolphins take him at 13. I think 13 is a little too high. I think at the end of the first, you'll see some teams that need a running back will probably take him, or early second, I think he goes. But I like him. I like his physicality. I like his size there. Now, my number 1. Are you surprised by my number 1? Because after watching him, after seeing how he plays, after seeing him stand in the backfield, the man, you know who I'm talking about. He literally, normally, they put their hands on their knees, running backs, before the ball snapped. This guy is just straight up, just standing in the backfield. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State. 5'9". He is the smallest of the running backs I have on here. 215. He did not run a 40. He was like, you can take that 40, you can shove it up your butt. Go watch my film. I don't need to run a 40. He's going to be a top 10 pick. I would be shocked if he's not a top 10 pick. Raiders are probably going to take him. He would fit perfectly with the Raiders. There's so many teams in the top 10 that you take him. Dallas will probably trade up and take him. He's got the frame. He's got that compact low body where he's going to run through you. He's got the speed. He's got the hands. He's got the after catch movements to make you miss. Loves contact. Great vision. It's like, how do I need to tell you about Ashton Jeanty? His negatives. His size is hard to be a pass blocker. But are you really going to have Ashton Jeanty? When that man's on the field, are you really going to have him pass block? And he dances too much. That's all the negatives that I could really find on Ashton Jeanty. He's not a great pass blocker because of his size, and he tends to dance too much in certain situations. Are you going to have Ashton Jeanty on whatever down? Okay, we're going to have you pass block. Now, obviously, you might have some, play actions, but you're not necessarily going to have him, be in the shotgun. You're going to keep him on your right or on your left. Oh, I have Bosa over here, or I got so-and-so over here. I'm going to keep him into. No. You're going to have him go out. You're going to have him run a wheel route. You're going to have him, you might have him chip and then go out. You're not having Ashton Genty staying in and blocking. It's a waste of talent. You shouldn't have taken him when you took him in the first round. He is the best running back, hands down, bar none, in this NFL draft. And like I said, should be a top 10 pick. There are people who have mocked him going 13 to the Miami Dolphins. I know Omar Kelly has talked about the possibility of him going to the Dolphins. Look, the Miami Dolphins have needs. They have needs at safety. They have needs at corner opposite Jalen Ramsey. They have need at left guard. They have a need at nose tackle and defensive end. They have needs. But if you think I'm going to sit here and be pissed off if the Miami Dolphins take him at 13, nah, I'm going to be like, they took Ashton Genty. Like, this would be my honest reaction if they took him, right? You hear, like, get down on the TV. And with the 13th pick in the 2025 draft, the Miami Dolphins take Ashton Genty, running back of Boise. I'd be like, they did it. They took Ashton Genty. All right. Well, we got a great running back, but what about the other needs? That would be my reaction. He's not going to be there at 13. He's too good to make it to 13. Ashton Genty is just ridiculous talent. Comment below. I want to know your top 5 running backs in this NFL draft. And again, honorable mentions are Dylan Sampson, Quinshon Judkins, Damian Martinez, Brashard Smith. I do like these guys. I just like my 5 a little bit better. So comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you in the next video. We still have to do, I'm going to do wide receivers, even though the Dolphins probably won't take them. So that will just be more informational. Then we do tight ends. Then we do offensive tackles. Then we do interior offensive line. Then we get to the defensive line, linebackers, corners, safeties. And then if I map it out correctly, we'll be at the draft. So here we go. But like usual, stay classy. And Vince out.